Have you found yourself in the loop of dread? That is waking up with just enough time to get ready for work, throwing on something that does not feel good for you, leaving with just enough time to get there, giving yourself to everybody for around 6 to 8 hours, coming home, not working out, not making yourself a healthy meal, doom scrolling for hours, and then doing it all over again the next day. Well, that is the loop of dread. I have personally found myself in the loop of dread several times in my life, from being a student to being a teacher to working at a bank. I constantly find myself in this loop that is so hard to pull myself out of. However, I have talked about how important structure and routine is on my channel for several years. I've talked about how much it has changed my life for the better. If you're struggling to find structure in your life, to build a routine, to get out of the loop of dread, then this video is going to be for you. But I want to preface this by saying there is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. And just because you're finding yourself in a cycle where you're not working out as often, not eating as healthy, and not pouring into yourself in the way that you might want to, does not mean that there's anything wrong with you. Life is going to ebb and flow. And the minute that you decide to just ride the wave is the minute you're going to be able to close the gap between your current self and the person that you want to become. First, I want to talk to you guys about ClickUp. ClickUp is an ultimate productivity tool. It is a free, easy to use tool that's going to help you find more structure in your everyday life and build systems that are going to help you close the gap between the person that you currently are and the person that you want to become. With ClickUp, you can create folders for your projects, drag and drop checklist boards that are going to help you have a visual of where you are in your project and how far along you have to go. You can track your time, collaborate with partners, and leverage a suite of templates made by professionals. One thing I love about ClickUp is that I have a visual of all the things I need to get done throughout the month when it comes to creation, as well as the projects I've set for myself. I'm someone that gets really anxious with everything that I have going, just trying to keep up with the goals I've set for myself. So just having a visual and being able to track my progress over time just gives me a lot more confidence, and it just makes me feel better with what I have going on. And one thing that tickles my fancy is that it's just easy to use. And if you're not super tech savvy, please do not worry. It is so easy to function. If you'd like to try ClickUp, go to tryclickup.co/Janet to organize your big projects and goals for free. That is tryclickup.co/Janet. Try it out, guys. And thank you so much, ClickUp, for sponsoring this portion of the video. Okay, so first let's talk about releasing yourself from the cycle of chaos. When you live your life in a constant cycle of chaos, sometimes it's really hard to pull yourself out of it. You almost become addicted to the stress and the chaos that is consuming your life. So it is time to start weaning yourself off of the cycle of chaos and weaning yourself off of the drama. Some ways you can do this is by building more positive cues within your routines in the morning and in the evening. So earlier we were talking about the loop of dread. It is a choice to be in the loop of dread, and it is a choice to get yourself out of it. So what are some things that might be causing you to be in the loop of dread? You might ask, well, it's your habits. It's your current habits. It's not giving yourself enough time to pour into yourself in the morning before work. It's not putting your phone to the side after work and nourishing your body in the way that you need to, going to the gym, working out, and giving your brain a break from the screen. It's releasing yourself from the constant anxiety and overstimulation and moving yourself into a place where you are prioritizing your peace. Whenever you release yourself from the cycle of chaos, you are going to be able to make better decisions in other areas of your life. For me personally, whenever I was waking up with just enough time to get to work and going through a stressful work day and coming home at the end of the day, I had really high stress levels, and it was really hard for me to even make a decision to eat something healthier. But once I was starting to move with more of a peaceful structure within my life and prioritize myself throughout the day, I had less brain fog and I was able to make better decisions for myself at the end of the day, throughout the week, etc., etc. And there's only a few people who will understand when I say this. Whenever you are stressed out, whenever you are living a chaotic life, the last thing that you want to do is make a healthy meal for yourself at the end of the day. Like, your brain just can't function in that environment. So it's important for you to prioritize peace from the moment that you wake up in the morning. So building positive cues within your morning routine is going to help build better structure, and it's going to help you prioritize peace throughout the day. Positive cues for me in the morning are waking up without scrolling on TikTok or Instagram first thing. And this is something I know we all struggle with, but not having that instant stimulation in your brain so early in the morning is going to help you prioritize more peace throughout your day. Instead, as soon as your alarm goes off, I know it's hard, I know it's easier said than done, but as soon as your alarm goes off, get out of bed and start your mindful morning routine. Whether that's making some tea for myself or making my AG1, it's starting the morning with something that is a little bit more positive than starting the morning with overstimulation on TikTok and Instagram. So once I make myself some tea, once I make my greens, that signals to my body that it's time to get some type of work done. And that helps me start the workday with a lot less friction and noise up here. Cannot stress enough how damaging social media can be for your brain super early in the morning, especially with apps like TikTok. You're being exposed to so many different emotions in the morning. I know for me and my algorithm, I'll see a story time first thing, and then I'll see something bad happening within the world, then I'll see somebody being racially profiled. Like, it's just too much going on, and it really just puts you on an emotional roller coaster way too early in your day. And although so many of us love the app, I know I do truly love TikTok, it's just not good for me in the morning or at night. So I try to limit myself to only being on it on breaks during the day, but I just cannot scroll in the morning. I cannot scroll at night. I cannot go through these like emotional roller coasters so early in the day. Replacing the negative cues with positive cues are going to get you much further in life. Now, let me start off by saying this. You have probably watched multiple morning routines, multiple night routines here on YouTube. And sometimes those routines can make you feel as though you're not doing enough, or that you need to purchase all of these different things to give yourself more of a mindful morning routine. That is not the case, okay? Once I stopped trying to check off all the things that made for a mindful morning routine on social media and just started doing things that made me feel good and that fit with the structure in my personal life, things got better for me and my morning routine became more consistent, and that is the most important thing. So, what are some things that bring you joy and structure in your life in the morning and in the evenings that align with your personal life? Please let me know down below in the comment section. With that, I want to lean into talking about getting out of the one extreme to the next cycle. When you become conscious and find that you've been living your life in the loop of dread, one thing that you're going to want to do is to go from that extreme to the next and jump into your habits and go all in and commit to the journey. For some people, that works, but for a lot of people, it does not work. And you find yourself jumping back and forth from one extreme to the next. So you're in the loop of dread, you don't have healthy habits, you're not keeping up with yourself, and then you jump into these extreme healthy habits. You're maybe able to keep up with it for about a month, and then you find yourself back into the loop of dread due to maybe burnout, falling off after a weekend, and just not being able to just keep up with this perfect life that you built for yourself overnight. I think it's important to ease into your habits and build habits that are going to be sustainable for you in the long run. You have to give yourself enough time to be human, okay? You have to give yourself the grace and space to be human. Once you are able to pull yourself out of the mindset that everything has to be perfect, you have to be at this extreme for your journey, then you're not going to fall back into the loop of dread that we were talking about earlier. For me personally, a few years ago, I had a goal of waking up at 4:45 in the morning. When I was working at the bank, I was finding myself in this loop of dread. I did not feel my best. I was getting to work really late all the time. I was getting home. I wasn't working out. I was just in this loop of dread. I wasn't able to pour into content creation. It just wasn't cute. I didn't like it at all. I decided that I needed to build a stronger morning routine. It wasn't easy because I had to be at work at 7:30 in the morning, but that meant that my morning routine had to start at around like 4:45 to 5 a.m. And guys, I did that. However, I didn't do it every single day, okay? It wasn't this extreme, well, it was an extreme morning routine. Waking up at 4:45 is kind of crazy, but it wasn't extreme in the sense that I was doing it every single day. I was maybe doing it 3 times a week. And in the beginning, I started off with around 2 times a week. Sometimes my morning routine consisted of working out before work, but also sometimes it consisted of me getting content creation things done, editing, scripting videos. And because I was able to do something, just something for myself before going into work, it just put me in a better mood and it put me in a better thought process throughout the day. I say all this to say you don't need to go from one extreme to the next. You might want to have a 5 a.m. morning routine, but that does not mean you have to do it every single day, okay? Maybe try doing it 2 times out of the week. Just those 2 days a week will help change you as a person. Essentially, what I'm trying to help you do is just to learn true balance within your life. Balance is going to lead to consistency in your life. And the most important thing when it comes to being disciplined and trying to become the person that you've always wanted to be is consistency, staying consistent with it, staying consistent with your habits, and doing things that make you feel good as a person. The last thing I want to touch on is reading the room, okay? Or more specifically, reading your room. Read your room, okay? So this is a derivative of a phrase that is often tossed around on social media when someone is being a little bit out of touch and they're not really paying attention to the climate around them, and they maybe make statements that are a little bit insensitive for the people that are around them. You'll often see comments saying, read the room, okay? Read the room, you are out of touch, get it together. Whenever you are understanding what's going on around you, your environment, and your temperament to that, it's going to be really easy for you to structure your life and your goals and your systems out to make more sense. So if you're in a time in your life that is super busy, super chaotic at work, you're in a busy season, that might not be the time to start a super crazy project in your personal life, right? If you are going all in with work in your 9 to 5, it might not be the time to start a crazy personal project. And it might sound like I'm being negative, but I think it's important to be honest with yourself with where you are in life and how much you can really handle on your plate. Read the room. And if you don't read the room, it is so easy for you to fall into a place of burnout. And I talk about this a lot on my channel. I have been burnt out one good time recently, and I never want to be there again because when I was burnt out, I did not love anything that I was doing. I did not love the things that once brought me so much joy. All I wanted to do was lie in a slump, scroll on my phone, and not do things that benefited me. That is not me. I mean, think about it. How many people do you know in life who have jumped into something that they were super passionate about, but somewhere down the line fell into a stage of burnout and just weren't able to recover from it? It is serious, guys. It is something serious. And one of my goals this past year, and it's on my goals list in my notes, is do not burn out. because I do not want to put myself in a position where I'm not happy with what I'm doing and I'm not able to keep doing the things that make me happy. I don't want to put myself in that position, and you don't want to do that too. So read the room and be honest with yourself on where you are in your current life, what's happening in the environment around you, whether you might need a change of environment or you might need to just take a break and pause things in general. Read the room and figure that out for yourself. A great example of this is like Miss Ariana Grande. She recently made a post, I want to say a few weeks ago, talking about her mini tour. Okay, guys, this might not like resonate with a lot of people, but she made a little post about having a mini tour for her album Eternal Sunshine that she just dropped on March 8th, which I have been listening to that album ever since she dropped it. But she's also starring in the movie adaptation of Wicked. Once she announced that she was going to do a little mini tour on a podcast, everyone on social media started going crazy and making posts about, how excited they were for the tour. And she came back and made a statement basically saying, whoa, wait, we're pausing all things Eternal Sunshine Tour, and I am going to be focusing in on Wicked for the time being. And I don't know if it was her team that told her to like pull back or whatnot, but she had to read the room in that situation, and she probably realized that she incited something that was way more chaotic than she was expecting it to be. And she did not need that energy while focusing in on Wicked. I mean, that is just like a simple example. A better example of this is when Simone Biles pulled out of the previous Olympics due to her dealing with a case of the twisties. And she was in a situation that was honestly pretty dangerous for herself. She was not feeling like herself. Her mental health was just not up to par. And she made the hard decision to pull out of the Olympics and focus in on herself, her mental health, and most importantly, her safety as well. And she had to read the room for herself. Of course, it was the Olympics. This is a big deal, but her safety and her mental health was the most important thing. And I commend her for that. Yeah, obviously, we are not Ariana Grande and we are not Simone Biles. However, these are great reminders to yourself that you are human. And you need to tap into yourself, your emotions, your temperament to help make the best decisions for yourself when it comes to whatever it is that's going on in your life, your goals, your habits, whatever, okay? Read your room. And if you are in a position where you feel like things aren't working out because of your environment, then you need to change up your environment and tap into those new habits, the new structure, your new routine from there, okay? But going through life delusional, not worrying about everything that's going on around you, and just trying to push through is not always the best thing, and it can lead to burnout and just not even pursuing the things that you want to pursue in your life. That being said, that is going to be all for this video. I decided to start a series on building a routine from now until the end of the year to help you build more structure in your everyday life. So this isn't the last video you're going to see on this topic. We're going to be talking about building structure within your 9 to 5, how you can build your dream life while working a 9 to 5. I'm going to also do a video dedicated for building routine as a content creator. I've gotten so many questions on how I build structure, how I create content from start to finish, how I maintain these habits, and how I've maintained my channel over the years. So I'm going to do a separate video on that. And I'm just going to do a separate video on just building a schedule, a routine that's going to help change your life essentially. So stay tuned for the rest of this series. Let me know what you thought about this down below. Let me know if anything resonated with you. And also in the next video after this, I believe I'm going to be sharing with you guys in a vlog form how I'm rebuilding my current routine to be more productive moving into the fall. So stay tuned for that video. It'll be coming very soon. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, Girl Scout. Bye.